Red's Food Reviews.
Alright, what's up guys? Today we got some High Five chicken. Earlier in my research I said I was gonna do just a normal chicken burger, their main one. And then I said I was gonna do the wings as a side, and then as the wild card I said I was gonna do the apple pie. But after talking to the staff there, they recommended a little different to actually get their profile and their taste. They said to stick with the chicken burger, that is their main, but to instead switch to the poutine instead of the wings, and then their churro bites as the wild cards. So that's what I did. It's a little different, but the guy, the worker at the counter, that's what he was saying. And you know, I was really trying to connect with him and understand his backstory a little bit, and what he actually knows about the restaurant. So yeah, it sounded like he knew what he was talking about. So we're gonna try his recommendations. It's a little different. But before we get to trying the food, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about High Five Chicken. It's a Canadian fast food restaurant. It started in 2016. It is exclusive to British Columbia, and it's got just over 11 locations. I think it's 12 or 13. I think one of them just opened. So they're local, they're definitely expanding, and they're also new. So I definitely think as an upcoming Rise restaurant, this was a good place to pick. And we're gonna test their food. Up first, we got their main chicken burger. This is what it looks like. So it's got some lettuce, it's got the chicken, it's got the bun, and it's got whatever sauce this is. I presume it's mayonnaise. And first look, it doesn't look very well put together. I mean, the bun does look nice, but it does look a bit crumpled. Maybe it's from walking with the bag, who knows, but it does look a little under put together. Let's see if it tastes any better. All right, so I'll take a bite of this. Another bite for scale. So right off the bat, what I'm noticing is it is a lot of lettuce. You know, there's an overwhelming taste of lettuce in here. Again, the pickles are quite thick. They're about this thick. So when you're biting into it, you get like a huge chunk of pickles sometimes. But the lettuce, there's a lot, but it is good lettuce. I have to say, it's good lettuce. The bun is also good. The chicken, it's a little bit underwhelming, I think. I'm gonna need another bite. So yeah, with the chicken, what I'm noticing is the breading on it just isn't it. It didn't crisp up at all. It almost seems like it doesn't seem very well breaded. I mean, it's almost a bit soggy. I don't know, like, I got this maybe 15 minutes ago, so I don't imagine it gets that soggy. I think maybe it was a bit more pre-prepared and it's been out for longer. I don't know, I'm not convinced with that. So this chicken burger, it's definitely not the best I've had when it comes to chicken burgers. There's some pluses and there's minuses. I do like the lettuce. It is good lettuce. The pickles are cut a bit too thick. They don't really blend in with the rest of the chicken patty because the patty's a bit thinner. The fry didn't crisp too well. So taking that all into account, I'm gonna have to give it maybe a 6 out of 10. So out of the first star, it is only at 0.6 stars. A bit of an underwhelming patty, too much lettuce, but I'd say good quality ingredients. So the next thing we're gonna be doing is the poutine. Let's take a look at it. Right off the bat, it doesn't look that appealing again. Let's try to give it a stir. Okay, so with the container, it's very hard to mix. The cheese is like on top, and with my mixing, like it's hard. It's like it's just turning everything to mush down there. Seems like the gravy's almost seeped a bit down, so it's a little bit nerfed by the gravy. My dog's on the left. He wants some. None for you. None for you. It's okay. But let's go ahead and take a bite. Sorry about my dog. He wants some. Not for you. Can we back up? Okay. So again, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by it. The fries are good. The cheese is good. But again, it's it's like the gravy's on the bottom layer, then you have the fries, then the cheese is on top, so it's hard to get a little bit of everything. And the fries are quite mushy too. They don't really have a crisp. It's like they were maybe, can you back up? It's like they weren't necessarily the best fries prepared, I think. Take another bite here though. So actually, flavor-wise, it's not bad at all. It's got some good spices in there. It does taste quite good. It's just the texture and the look of it isn't too appealing. And I can understand for some people, texture is a big thing. For me, not as much. So this poutine, I'd say, was a little underwhelming. So going over, the problem is a little bit of the layering. The cheese isn't mixed in there too well. Neither did it melt, so it's a bit stuck as chunks on top. And even when I try to mix it in, it's pretty unsuccessful. The fries were like a bit too soft. You know, you want a little crisp on the outside and then the softer inside. There's nothing really of that here. It's like they just turned to mush. The actual taste though, it is pretty good. It's not like anything's too overwhelming. The flavoring is good. So I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. So next up, we got their churro bites. This is what I was the most interested in because going into it, I did not know they had these. Even with my research, it didn't show on any website. So maybe this was just location dependent. I was at the one in the Willoughby Town Center. They do look pretty good. They look like churro bites. Not much to say there. Ooh, they smell good though. So yeah, the guy did recommend this, but let's try one. So that was actually pretty good. That is the best single item so far today. One thing I will say though, for all of these items, I don't really mention temperature because I don't know if it's the fairest, because I walked home like 10-15 minutes with it, so I can't really blame them if it's not like the best it could be temperature wise. But the churros are still warm and they're really nice. It's got a very hard crust on the outside, but you actually bite into it, it's super soft on the inside. That cinnamon sugar is perfectly blended with that half cinnamon, half sugar. It's very nice. And the actual fry on these things is very nice. I don't know if you can see, but it crisps up just on the side perfectly. You get the very nice churro shape. It's a very nice churro. Let's go ahead and another bite. So, rating this wise, I think it's a very well designed churro. I think it's a great concept, this churro bites. I definitely like it. It is really good. But it's not something that blows me out of the water. And to get that 9 or perfect 10, it's gonna have to be something extraordinary that blows me out of the water. This is just a good churro. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. So now, I'll get into the service here. I did write down some notes. While I was in there, it was very clean. When I first went in, I didn't quite know the place. I had to look around a little for the items on the menu, so I was there. And the guy there was like, just take your time. Just tell me when you're ready. So I did. I looked a little bit. Then I started asking him, you know, how long have you worked here? He said he worked there for just over 2 years, so he definitely knows the place. I asked him what he likes on the menu, and he told me he likes just the original chicken burger combo, which is normal, it's expected. And then I kind of explained the capstone that I'm doing and my system of ranking about this side dish and this wild card and what he kind of thinks. I explained it to him a little bit, and he told me the wings might not be the best side because it doesn't quite represent them. He said they don't have the best wings out there, he can admit that, but he said their poutine is quite nice, and I thought that was a good reason. And then furthermore, for the wild card, he said the apple pie is a bit too common, everybody's got one, and instead, if you really want to look into their story and background, it would be their churro bites, which is quite unique to them. And he said it shows a lot of what the restaurant is, and I think that was quite nice. So yeah, I listened to him and chose that. He was super nice. And then while I was actually looking around, I looked around the restaurant a little bit. I'll put some pictures up here. I took 2 pictures, and it was quite clean in there. There was music. The music was nice, but again, the music was a little loud. And then I did look around nearby for the parking. You can't park on the actual street in front of it. It's kind of weird, but like you have to go back in a driveway, and there is parking back there, but it is a little hard to find. But there is free parking, so that's good. So service-wise, it was quite nice. Like, I didn't feel nervous at all. It was a very comfortable space. I'd be fine eating in there. The colors on the walls were nice. Everything was welcoming. It was a great space to eat, you know, and that's important to me. So service-wise, I'm gonna give them a 9 out of 10. They did quite surprise me there. I didn't expect it to be that good, but that personal connection conversation I had with the worker there definitely elevated my stance on it. He was definitely able to exceed my expectations, and he did blow me out of water a little bit, so he can get that 9 out of 10. So the service is 9 out of 10. And finally, for just the overall liking of the food, it was good. The thing is, the chicken burger was not as good. So if we have a 7, 8, and oh, what did I say? No, it was a 6, 7, and 8. That's what I say, yeah. So it was good. I did enjoy the food, although it wasn't the best food. So enjoy, but not the best. I have to say that is about a 7 out of 10. So I'll add up the total in 1 second. So in total, we had a 6 from the chicken burger, we had a 7 from the poutine, and the 8 from the churro bites, and then we had a 9 from service, and another 7 from my overall liking of the food. So that comes out to 37 out of 50, and that is 3.7 stars out of 5. Big savior for this restaurant was the staff. That the guy who helped me out, we built that personal connection, and that did help their service rating a lot. And although the food was maybe at a minimum or maybe a little under par, it was still good nonetheless. So yeah, with that final, it ends up being 3.7 stars out of 5, and that is it. See ya.